Have you ever noticed a sudden burst of warmth in the middle of a freezing winter? That's the January thaw, a brief, surprising break from the cold that almost feels magical when it arrives. For several days, temperatures rise above freezing, snow melts, and it feels like spring is sneaking in early. The air softens, and you might even catch the scent of wet earth as the snow recedes. This isn't just a single warm day, but a stretch, sometimes up to 5 days, where winter seems to pause. It's as if nature's taking a short, gentle breath before plunging back into the deep freeze. You'll hear water dripping from rooftops, see puddles forming, and people ditching their heavy coats. Sidewalks become slushy, and the world feels a little lighter even if just for a moment. It's called a false spring because it tricks us into thinking winter is over, but don't be fooled. Cold weather always returns. Those green shoots are just a tease, a reminder that real spring is still weeks away. The January thaw is most noticeable because it interrupts the coldest part of the year, right when we need a break the most. It's a well-known phenomenon in many places, especially in North America, where people look forward to this brief respite every year. This warm spell lifts our spirits, melts the snow, and gives us hope for the real spring ahead. Kids rush outside to play, and neighbors greet each other with smiles, enjoying the sunshine. But remember, it's just a temporary flip in the weather. The cold will return, often with a vengeance, so don't pack away your boots just yet. Enjoy the break, but keep your winter gear handy. The January thaw is a reminder that winter isn't finished with us. The January thaw is one of winter's most talked about surprises, a fleeting moment of warmth that makes the cold days ahead just a little easier to bear. So, when does the January thaw usually show up? There's no set date, it's not a holiday. Most often it happens in the second half of January, but sometimes it arrives a bit earlier or later, even stretching into early February. The timing depends on shifting weather patterns and air masses high in the atmosphere. The thaw is most common in the central and eastern United States. Places like Boston, Chicago, and New York often experience it. It's less frequent in the West, where winter weather behaves differently. The unpredictability is part of the fun. Every year people wonder, will we get a thaw this time? It's a classic feature of North American winters, breaking up the deep freeze with a welcome, if brief, warm spell. So, keep an eye on the forecast. Mother Nature loves to surprise us. Let's look at a real example. January 2026 in the Northeast. From January 7th to 11th, temperatures soared from the 20s to the upper 50s Fahrenheit, weather more typical of April. Snowbanks shrank, ice melted, and parks revealed patches of green. People flocked outside, restaurants opened patios, and the city buzzed with energy. It felt like we'd skipped ahead 2 months. But by January 12th, the cold returned, and puddles refroze into slick ice. The warm spell was over as quickly as it began. This was a textbook January thaw, a sudden dramatic warm-up, a burst of outdoor life, and then a swift return to winter. It changed daily routines and lifted spirits, even if just for a few days. The 2026 thaw was a memorable break in the heart of winter, and just like that, winter reminded us it wasn't done yet. What causes the January thaw? It's not random. There's real science behind it. Large climate patterns, like La Niña, play a big role. La Niña cools Pacific Ocean waters, which can make early winter colder and snowier in North America. But midwinter, the atmosphere can shift, letting milder air from the south push northward. This warm air temporarily wins the battle against the cold Arctic air, giving us our thaw. Sometimes, if winter starts out warm, the thaw arrives later, maybe even in February. It all depends on how these massive air masses interact each year. Think of it as a tug of war for a few days. The warm air pulls ahead. The result? A sudden dramatic change in temperature, but the cold always regroups and returns. The January thaw is a brief victory for warmth in the long winter struggle. It's a fascinating reminder of how interconnected our weather systems are, and it keeps meteorologists and the rest of us on our toes. The jet stream is the main driver behind the January thaw, shaping the weather we experience in dramatic ways. Picture it as a fast-moving river of air high above us, separating cold northern air from warm southern air, constantly shifting and weaving across the continent. When the jet stream dips south, we get Arctic blasts, those bone-chilling days when the cold seems to seep into everything. But during a thaw, it bulges north, letting warm air surge up from the Gulf of Mexico, sometimes traveling hundreds of miles in just a day or two. This isn't about stronger sunshine. The warmth is literally imported from the south, carried on the wind and felt in every puddle and patch of slush. Sometimes, a high-pressure system off the southeast coast acts like a pump, pulling warm, moist air northward, intensifying the thaw and making it even more noticeable. That's why a thaw can feel damp or muggy, even in January, with foggy mornings and a softness in the air that feels almost out of place. But this setup is always temporary, a fleeting break in the relentless cold. The jet stream soon shifts again, and cold air rushes back in, reclaiming the landscape and restoring winter's grip. The January thaw is just a brief interruption in winter's routine, a short-lived intermission before the next act of snow and ice. It's a dance of air masses, with warmth taking the lead, if only for a moment before the cold inevitably returns. The science behind it is complex, involving countless variables and shifting patterns, but the result is simple: a few glorious days of relief that everyone notices. And then, just as quickly as it arrived, the thaw ends, and we're back to reality, bundling up once more. Don't be fooled. The January thaw doesn't mean winter is over. Even though the snow is melting and the air feels a bit warmer, this is just a brief pause in the season's chill. It's tempting to stash your snow shovels and plan for spring, but the cold always returns. Winter has a way of surprising us just when we think it's safe to relax. The real danger comes when melted snow refreezes, creating black ice on sidewalks and roads. This hidden hazard can catch anyone off guard, making even a short walk risky. Black ice is nearly invisible and extremely slippery, one of winter's biggest hazards. It can form overnight or even during the day when temperatures suddenly drop. After a thaw, it's crucial to stay alert and spread salt or sand before temperatures drop. Taking these precautions can help prevent slips and falls for you and your neighbors. The thaw gives us a break, but also a reminder. Winter can change fast. One day it's mild, the next it's icy and cold again. Enjoy the mild days, but don't let your guard down. Take advantage of the sunshine, but remember that winter isn't finished yet. Keep your winter coat, hat, and gloves handy. You'll need them again soon. It's wise to keep your warm gear close by, just in case the weather turns suddenly. The January thaw is just an intermission, not the end of the show. Nature is only taking a short break before winter returns in full force. The final act of winter, often with more snow and cold, is still to come. Sometimes, the harshest storms arrive after we think the worst is over. So savor the warmth, but be prepared for winter's quick comeback. The weather can shift in a matter of hours, catching everyone by surprise. Safety first, especially when the thaw ends. Watch your step and drive carefully, as conditions can change rapidly. Winter always has a few more tricks up its sleeve. Stay ready, stay safe, and don't pack away your winter gear just yet. The January thaw shakes up our routines in big ways. Suddenly people swap heavy coats for lighter jackets and spend more time outdoors. Parks and playgrounds fill up, and the city feels alive again. Car washes get busy as drivers clean off winter grime, and restaurants open patios for eager customers. Even chores like yard work or washing the car become possible, but not everyone benefits. Ski resorts and ice rinks may see fewer visitors as snow turns slushy. Melting snow can cause minor flooding or create messy, slushy streets. And when temperatures drop again, all that water can freeze into dangerous ice. The thaw is a mix of spring-like joy and winter headaches. It's a reminder to enjoy the good moments, but stay ready for quick changes. Adaptability is key, both for fun and for safety. The January thaw is a brief, lively pause in the long winter grind. The January thaw isn't just about weather, it's about how it makes us feel. After weeks of cold and gray, a burst of warmth lifts our spirits and gives us hope. People smile more, conversations are brighter, and the world feels alive again. The air softens, birds return, and the sounds of melting ice replace winter's silence. This false spring is a powerful psychological boost, breaking up the winter blues. It encourages us to get outside, recharge, and remember that real spring is coming. Of course, we know it's temporary, which makes it even more special. The fleeting warmth teaches us to savor the moment. The January thaw is a beautiful, short-lived gift, a reminder to find joy in small things. Even as winter returns, we carry that hope forward. It's a lesson in appreciating the present, and it makes the real arrival of spring feel even sweeter. The January thaw is more than a weather blip, it's a highlight of winter. It's driven by global patterns like the jet stream and La Niña, bringing a few days of spring-like warmth. This brief break lifts our mood, changes our routines, and reminds us of nature's surprises. But it also teaches us to stay prepared. Winter always returns, often with icy roads and sidewalks. The thaw is a beloved, fascinating part of the season, sparking conversation and hope. So next time you feel that unexpected warmth, you'll know. It's the magic of the January thaw. Enjoy it, but keep your winter gear close. Spring is coming, but not just yet.